Hello and welcome to Tangent. I'm your host, Brandon Ilsley, and with me, as always, is my illustrious co-host, Ethan Leith.
Yes.
Cue Ethan's weird intro bit. And if you haven't listened to this podcast before,
Tangent
the whole
is
point...
the spice of life.
Shut up and let me do the intro.
And
And if you haven't listened to this podcast before, the whole point is that we get a random word or phrase and then discuss said word or phrase and see what tangents we go on. As always, you can find all the places you can listen to Tangent. I'm going to ignore you. Where you can listen to podcasts like Spotify or wherever, just not Podchaser, because still, fuck you.
Podchaser still has not responded to us.
They just don't like us.
But on the other bright side is we do now have our own YouTube channel that you can also now listen to Tangent on.
I was actually going to get there, mate. I was actually going to get there.
Oh, really?
Don't worry about it.
Sorry, I should have trusted you.
Carry on.
Oh, what I was just say, it's at The Real Tangent Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
So search for it. We have the video of our live stream there that we did for last episode, which is also everywhere else. And it has everything Tangent.
Cool. I'm gonna finish the intro now. But anyway, you can send in your own prompts at tangentpodcastideas@gmail.com or to our Instagram, which is @going_on_tangent. God, I always fuck that up. And yeah, there we go. That's the end of that spiel.
It's been a while. It's a bit rusty.
It has actually been about 3 weeks. Yeah. Anyway, Ethan.
Yes. More so doing, when they get this. I'm doing good. I'm currently fasting, so my brain is a bit addled to say the least. It's no food from sunrise to sunset in the Baha'i fast for 19 days.
I don't care, because we have a special guest on this episode, and a special not so special guest, Sophie Casali. Would you like to say hello?
Hello. Hello.
Oh my god!
She turned into an old woman. Oh no.
Hello. No. Okay, I'm serious now. Hi, I'm Sophie. Nice to meet you guys, I guess.
Yeah.
How are you?
I like that you had to announce that you were going to be serious.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry. You can roll in between spiels. It's fine. You can go from serious to serious.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what we were doing for the entire intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes. Sophie, our number one listener.
Fuck you,
number
Theo.
one. Yeah. And Ben.
Fuck you, Theo. I love you.
Yeah, we do love you, but also Sophie, you are literally our number one listener, as described on your Spotify Wrapped for the year,
which is hilarious.
Indeed. I have listened to it since it came out, and you make me look like a fool when I listen to it when I go back from work in the streets, and I just laugh out loud in the streets, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, Sophie, just keep it for yourself, please.
That is our entire aim, is to make people look like idiots listening to this podcast. I feel like that. We've achieved it. You. We can wrap it up now.
That's the goal.
All right,
that's
cool.
the aim.
We're done now.
Right. Yep.
See you now.
Bye.
Bye.
No doubt Ethan's going to throw in. Yeah, I know.
I brought it back. We're back to the. But no, this is not an after credits. I'm stopping it. I stopped it early. So this isn't after credits. This is still.
We've got a guest. We have to behave ourselves this time, Ethan.
Yeah, we've got to behave ourselves this time. We do.
Also, but, I think Sophie. Not that it matters. I think you're our first female guest as well.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah.
Which proves to everyone we do have female friends.
Yes. One.
What is it?
You're bringing us some of that vaginal energy.
What is it? You lost to women?
Yes.
Listeners? Yeah, was it one of them?
It was mothers or like cavemen?
The infertile.
That is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was our most recent?
Oh, I don't. It's so many. Oh my god! Ow! My gut! Oh my god! Ow! I'm trying to eat. A little bit more. Just a little bit.
To the left, please.
Wow.
Oh. Sophie, do you know what time it is?
It's time for the prompt, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got it in one. Smashed it.
Yeah.
Truly our top listener. Knows what's happening.
Indeed.
Knows how the podcast works. That's the bar.
Yeah, know when the prompt is
For all
coming.
5 of our listeners.
I dropped my headphone. Sorry. Go.
No, Miss Casali, what's our prompt, mate?
Let me remember. Yes, I think I had. What did I have? Very touristy souvenirs. Because that was I came up with 3 months ago. Yeah,
I like that. Very touristy souvenirs.
Yeah, like the very annoying ones, and you're like, this is too beneath me. I am a traveler. I'm not a tourist. You know, kind of
right.
Yeah.
Like what? Give us some examples of very touristy souvenirs.
Right, magnets.
Right.
I don't have magnets.
Postcards.
Yeah.
Postcards. Yeah.
The wooden willies.
What?
Oh no, that's just Greece.
That's just
okay.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say there's definitely
Sophie. Right, that's it. Everyone from Thailand's gone.
So good.
Oops.
But there's like nation specific ones, right? Because obviously Amsterdam has the tulips. Or the weed.
Tulips.
I was thinking about the my uncle has a magnet from Amsterdam, but it's shaped in a joint.
Nice. Yeah, solid. Solid. That's a good one. But like what's Britain's one? What's Britain's like specific
T-shirts with a Union Jack that says I heart London.
The telephone box.
Yes, the telephone box. Yeah. Even though they don't exist anymore. The telephone boxes don't exist anymore. Like, I don't know, when's the last time any of us have seen a London red telephone box?
I saw one when me and Eli went to do our documentary about Barton and the Beans.
You mean
except it was a book exchange. It wasn't actually a working telephone.
Oh no, none of them work anymore. I don't know if there's. No. I don't think we have, because we don't need them. Everyone has a mobile phone. What's the point?
Who needs them?
They're mainly toilets now.
They are. That's 100% true.
They're just places for people to piss.
They have toilets. It's just urine on the bottom, and at eye level, it's just stickers for like either prostitution or weed. Like that's pretty much all the stuff that's in a telephone box now.
I mean, that is largely the tourist experience of England.
Yeah.
You know, weirdly, so when I was in Spain, the tourist the tourist gifts that were being advertised the most in Albacete were knives.
Huh?
Knives?
Yeah, like knives. Like flip knives, machetes. Pretty sure there was literally just an axe in one of the shops.
What the fuck? That's
like a
cool.
battle axe. Yeah, but how are you going to get it on the plane?
Don't go by plane, go by coach. Simple.
You got me there.
I do. I have you.
You did got me there. But it was just, there was multiple shops I saw that were literally just filled with knives. Like you just go in and they just had knives upon knives. The first gas station we stopped in on the coach was filled with knives. And I was like, this seems kind of shady, until we got to Albacete and everywhere there was just knives.
Wow.
Is there a history behind it, or is it just we like knives?
I think Albacete is one of the largest knife producers in Spain, as far as I understand.
That's such an interesting thing to be like famous for.
Yeah, there was literally
like, we're the best at knives, bro.
Well, it was weird because it didn't seem to carry the same connotation. Like, we literally went in a cafe that just had knives on the walls, but it was like a really cozy little cafe with just knives. And I was like, if you saw that in the UK, you'd be like, I don't think I'm going to go in there. I think I'm good.
Yeah, but obviously, I think if you had knives on the wall in the UK, like in a cafe, it'd be robbed so much. Like, people would steal the knives off the wall.
Yeah.
Because like people in the UK don't understand stuff doesn't have to be an actual weapon. It can be an ornament, but people don't care about that.
Yeah. There were also kids' drawings in the knife museum there.
I did
different cartoon characters holding knives.
Have you had much experience with knives, Sophie?
Yeah. The first thing that came up to me was that meme of the kid. And it's like, what you got there? A knife!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Knives. Otherwise, well, when we did, like, with Bethan, we did our stage combat training. We had, like, a knife.
Yeah. The fake knives there,
Yeah.
For reference, Sophie went to uni with us, and Bethan.
Give it a little twist.
Yeah.
Bethan.
Bethan was our stage combat tutor. Yes?
Yes.
Is that what you call them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I completely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know why you're second guessing yourself.
I don't know why either. It just felt like the wrong word.
I'm pretty sure I still have my. I bought a stunt butterfly knife.
That's very Brandon, I think. I don't know why.
Yeah, like it's like that. Ethan, you've seen it. It's that multicolored, like oil stained one. You might have even seen it, Sophie.
Yeah.
There was a time in uni where I used to just bring it with me places because it was like not because I knife, but because it was so good as like a fiddle thing and like to do tricks and stuff. It was just so fun just to do that I was like, oh god, and I just end up like I don't know where it is now though. I have it somewhere.
I think it was you that taught me how to do the tricks, and I just sat there for an hour just flicking it out and in. My hand really hurt by the end, but I was just enjoying it.
So you have to smack your fingers. Like it does hurt your fingers, but like just
How
opening.
Do you not cut your fingers with an actual butterfly knife?
Well, because there's a blunt side and a sharp side of the blade.
Wait, did you have a sharp side?
No, mine was a stunt one. Mine is like it definitely isn't a real knife at all. It's blunt. I'm sure if I did it with enough force, it would hurt somebody. But no, yeah, it's
more of a bludgeoning weapon.
Yeah, more of a bludgeoning weapon. If you just flick it really fast, you flick it really fast and then like just smack someone as you're doing it, I'm sure it'll hurt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think there's a lot of things you could probably use in self-defense just to daze somebody.
Oh, so many things. Like I don't have like an actual weapon. I don't think I used to have bamboo sticks because I used to do taekwondo. So I used to actually have bamboo there. Yeah. And they're somewhere in my room at some point. But they bend when warped. So that there's parts of it. If you ever felt along it, like there's like a really thick part that clearly hasn't been used to hit somebody, and a really thin part on the edges, which clearly has. But I also have like a workout bar that I'm sure if I had enough time to take off my door would hurt. You know what I mean?
Could you just take the entire thing off and just like throw it at someone? Like
it's the size of a baseball bat. Like if I just swing it, and it's like all metal. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure if I took enough time to get buff enough that I could pick a chair up. That
hang on. My prep time's like 5 minutes. Yours is like if you give me 10 to 15 years of constant gymming, watch out.
Well, I was saying I just thought comically. I was like, technically anything could be. So you could use a chair.
Yeah.
But I also realised that I just insinuated I can't pick up a chair. Which, just to clarify, I can.
Ethan, no. You don't need to insinuate anything. I'm pretty sure our listeners know that you can't pick up a chair.
I'm a weedy little boy. Please spare me. Sophie, have you ever done any martial arts or anything like that?
No, but I grew up with a brother, so you don't really need martial arts. It's just like whatever you find, improvised weapons, everything is good.
Sophie has proficiencies with improvised weapons.
I have the brawler feat, okay? Yeah. Okay, we're getting to D&D now. But yeah, it's just crazy stuff with the brother. And he's like, he's the little sibling as well. You know, when he started to,
so you bully him.
So there was a point in time where you used to kick the shit out of him, and then he turned like 14, and then you were like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. But yeah, fun times. Now it's in the US,
just
so
another sibling experience.
Yeah, 100%. Now, see, my brother's 10 years older than me, so by the time I was 10, he was 20. And so, like, even one of my earliest, the way we didn't used to have fights because it was never fair. Like, when I was 5, he was 15. So, like, it was just him him abusing me calling for mum, him being like, I didn't even touch him. You know what I mean? But the way he used to incapacitate me that was still fun was he used to just, because he's like 6 foot and I'm like 5'7", right? I'm pretty sure he could still do it. And he just picked me up by my ankles and hold me above the ground. And like, there was nothing I could do because I was like 7 and he was 17 and 6 foot. So it was just him holding me there until mum was like, put him down. And then,
just drops to the floor like that.
Yes. Yeah, a lot. That happened a lot.
I remember I used to sit on my sister.
No, that's a valid tactic. I do that to my girlfriend now.
Scrapping, if we'd start scrapping, I'd get her on the ground. I'd just sit there until she was like, okay, time out, I'm done.
Yeah. I think it's completely valid as a tactic.
Yeah.
I feel like, imagine how much would that throw off a mugger if like you grappled him to the ground and instead of like on top of him with your arms, you just sat on his face and you were just sat there. You were just like, I'm not moving, bro.
I feel like there's probably quite a lot that you could avoid or like throw people off just by being really weird.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm pretty sure if somebody was trying to mug you and you acted like actually insane, you might throw them off to turn the tide enough that you could then run away.
Yeah. Or just act like you're really enjoying it. Just like he pins you against the wall, just like, oh yeah, do it harder. And suddenly they don't want to do it at all.
Go on, rob me. All
right, mate, let's not turn this into a BDSM podcast.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the ASMR getting robbed BDSM podcast.
Yeah, go on, Sophie, you go first.
Yeah, Sophie, you go first.
Hey, yo, give me your money. You.
Yeah.
Oh, weird man. I'm gonna leave now.
And scene.
And there we go.
Hold on, everyone.
Proof. The proof is in the pudding. The pudding is me getting robbed and being turned on by it.
I like how you instantly went for like foreigner as well, Sophie. I really felt your characterization there. You were like, this man needs money.
Exactly. Yeah, because all foreigners should get out of this country. Am I right?
Yeah. This is what we voted for.
But by the way, guys, if you didn't hear, I'm foreign, so I'm
what?
Wait, hang on a second. I thought you were just putting on this accent the whole time. What do you mean it's real?
Honestly, I was actually like, dude, Sophie's being really offensive right now.
Yeah.
She's doing this weird Italian impression. It's just...
I actually have a real question about that. Am I right? And I got told that you're also French, Sophie.
Oui, I am French as well. No, okay, I'm gonna stop this fast. Yes, my father is from Paris, from the Bronx of Paris. So
the Bronx
of Paris.
Yes, from Aubervilliers, and but I didn't live in France. I was born in Italy. I had the full Italian experience, and yes, so a full Italian, and but I speak French with my father. When I speak French, unfortunately, I do have a bit of an Italian accent, but you know,
wow, what
the beauty of it.
Really?
Yeah. How dare you, Sophie?
Oh my God!
How dare you have an accent?
So that's madness. So wait, you're currently fluent in 3 languages.
Yes, then I do speak Spanish as well. So, but however, it's been a while since I moved to England. I haven't had the chance to speak much Spanish. So it's withered away a little bit.
See, like I'm on a podcast with you two. Like I've always wanted to be able to speak just more than one language. And like Sophie's a polyglot. Ethan, you can speak 2 languages?
Barely.
Oh, okay. Well. All right.
My Japanese used to be a lot better than it was, and my Bulgarian was always middling. But
that's such a weird. That's an odd selection of languages as well. Like Sophie's makes sense. Like they're all like Mediterranean, like European languages because she's lived there or has family. Yours is just like Japanese and fuck it, Bulgaria. That'll throw a dart.
I mean, my ex was Bulgarian, was why I learned Bulgarian, and there's the same with like when I knew Hebrew and Arabic. That was from a time in my life when that was useful.
When was that? When was that time in your life?
I don't know, Brandon. I don't actually know.
Okay, actually, I want to jump in for that because I feel for you, Ethan, because when I spent 1 year, I've been to Australia, so I lived in Australia for 1 year.
Wait, you went to Australia?
Sorry, exactly.
Wait, Sophie, you went to Australia?
Yes, thank you, Brandon, because that's exactly what
I'm
they did
finally
to me.
liberated.
You're welcome.
It feels
Ethan.
good. It feels good to be on the other side of it.
It's fun, isn't it? Carry on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's changed my life so much that I was just every conversation. Yes, when I was in Australia, because we in Australia we do this like as if I gained the fucking citizen, citizenship. So yeah, I just wanted to say it's okay if you've been to Israel, Ethan.
Thank you for giving me that permission. Yeah, well, that's the thing is like, that the reason it became a thing was because a lot of stuff happened in that year. As I'm sure, probably you with Australia, a lot of stuff would have happened. But I can't exactly reference stuff and be like, oh yeah, I went down to like the bazaar that was outside the back of my house and for people not to be like, where was that? So, you kind of have to preface it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, what did you do in Australia, Sophie? Like, what? Did you just like gap year there, or? Yeah,
it was so basically. I don't know how it works for you guys in England, but generally, like Europe and like America as well. But we do when you're like around 17, like so between 17 and 18, you spend 1 year into another country and you go to school there. Many associations do that. I went with Rotary, because it was the cheapest as well. And
so was it like foreign exchange?
Yes, exactly. So my family had to host an Aussie girl, and so the same thing for people. I don't know if I went to America, my parents would have hosted an American exchange student while I was there. And yeah, I just basically went to school, it was very weird because, of course, the terms start in January because it's the Southern Hemisphere. And I joined in July, which was year 11 in Australia, but it was the end of year 11. So then January, I started year 12. And then I left in July, so I sort of like just did the end of year 11 and the start of year 12, which was the last year of high school, basically, in Australia. I don't know how it works here in England, but it was a bit weird, like school-wise, understanding subjects, because I was like, I had lost 1 entire year of knowledge. Yeah. So it was kind of. Yeah, but so I was in different families as well. I changed like 3 to 6 families.
Wow.
And
you complained about all of them. You're like, all of these people suck.
Well, it does sound like it, but it was just that, I don't know, organization-wise, they were like, oh, we can't keep you for more than like 2 weeks, so fuck off to the other family. But they were all amazing. And actually, my first host family is coming to visit England in June, and it would have been 7 years since I last saw them.
Wow!
So
that's so cool.
7 years.
That's so cool.
You gonna go see them?
Yeah. They're gonna come to London, and we're gonna spend like a weekend together. So it's gonna be very exciting.
That's so cool.
To see them again.
So cool.
Yeah.
So, because the school system in England is so. It seems like it's so different to everywhere else, because in England you leave high school at 16, or you have the option to leave high school at 16, because you get your qualifications you need, which is GCSE or whatever they're going to be called now, and then you have an option to go to a college or a sixth form to do like more like a further education, which is I think is it higher education or further education?
Further.
Yeah, because higher is in university.
Yeah. So basically, in that further education, you get the qualifications you need to get into university.
Yep.
Like a BTEC, or if you're going into like a trade skill, like if you're doing hairdressing or electrician or whatever, you go to a college to do a BTEC in that subject. And
is acting a BTEC?
You can do acting as a BTEC, or you can do what I did, which was one of the A levels. Was what I did was theatre studies, which is how I.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of crossover. I mean, the way it typically works is that, I mean, essentially you kind of switch school, even if some secondary schools have a sixth.
Yeah,
form
mine
attached,
had a sixth form.
but
yeah,
mine did. My campus didn't, so I was going to have to either go to the other campus or go to a new sixth form. So I went to a new sixth form that was just a sixth form. There was no secondary school. But it's kind of like you still have to stay in education until you're 18, but you
don't have to. Not at all. That's the point. In this country, you don't have to. You can at 16, you can still, just leave.
No, that it used to be that way, but you do still have to be in education until you're 18. It's just you can be in education as an apprentice.
I don't think that's true at all, mate, because there are people, I know there's people that left school at 16 and got a job with their GCSEs. I know them. They are friends of mine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what I was told myself.
No, GCSEs are the lowest form of qualification you can leave school with. And then you can it's an option if you want to take a BTEC or if you
levels, like I think.
Okay, so
anyway, what can I know about
right.
it?
What gov.uk says is that if you leave school, then at the age of 16, then you must do one of the following until you're 18: stay in full-time education or start an apprenticeship.
See, so
I don't know if these jobs would have counted as an apprenticeship, and that's how they got on with it.
Maybe because they have to pay them as much, so maybe.
But legally, you have to be in some form of education until you're 18.
Anyway,
but after that point, you can go and kind of do whatever you want. But it is very different to the rest of the world, because also there are big differences. You know, BTEC is more practical, whereas an A level tends to be more academic.
Usually if you're doing like a maths degree or you want to go do maths or science, you have to take A levels because there's a whole background point system called UCAS, and each qualification is worth an equivalent number of UCAS points. And basically you have to achieve a certain number of UCAS points to get to certain grades and certain qualifications to get onto certain courses and shit. It's all such a complication. Like, it's so complicated.
Because typically a university isn't also looking just straight at your grades. It's actually looking at how many UCAS points you've amassed, because having a different grade gives you more UCAS points if it's higher grade.
Which is why you can get into a university. I think what you're saying, Sophie, before with like less qualifications is because you can get UCAS points in other way. For example, I did D of E. So if you do a Duke of Edinburgh, that also counts towards your UCAS. If you if you have a music qualification, like if you are like a certain grade in a certain instrument, that also counts towards your UCAS qualifications. So and so universities typically in the UK, they'll still put like, you know, the grade equivalent of what that was. So for example, UCA was 2 Bs and 1 C, but that's how many UCAS points is equivalent to that grade. And most of the time, sometimes universities just ignore it. They'll give you it.
Yeah, well,
and then they'll just
I didn't get the grades.
I didn't get the grades. I got low the grades.
What grade? What year did you graduate, Brandon?
I did sixth form, mate. So I graduated in 2018.
Yes, so we were the same year because they tanked the grades across the whole of the UK, basically because they were bringing in a new system for examining. So the entirety of the UK, I think it was one of the lowest acceptance years for university ever. And basically, across the entirety of the UK, everyone dropped at least 1 or 2 grades in everything.
Fuck off, really?
So they jeopardized
I was predicted A's in acting, and I got a C. I was predicted. I was getting straight A's in computer science, and I revised for both of these. I revised my arse off for both of them, and I scraped a B. And basically, and what, you know, my drama teacher had said was that essentially nobody got their predicted grades. Everyone got at least 1 grade, if not 2 below what they were predicted.
Because that happened to me as well.
Because they were trying to make the system look better, basically. They were trying to go like, oh, look, the grades are down. And then the new system comes in and then the grades go up. So
wow,
they artificially made the grading.
That's such horseshit because it basically means that I got an E in my biology, which means I would have actually got a C, which is acceptable. You know what I mean? And that's pissed me off.
Yeah, it's bullshit. But anyway, we've been talking now, and Sophie's just sat very patiently.
Sorry, Sophie. You know what you signed up for. Like, this is,
We are both disabled, so
stop saying that.
We are though, both of us.
You just announced it. Like, it's just like we are disabled.
Yes, I will wave my blue badge. I don't have one, but I'll wave one.
I can paint one.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Sophie. But
No
I think, and I know it is a system in the UK, the whole thing of going and spending time abroad and exchange families, because there were some people in my sixth form who were a couple of Italian students who I'd known for a while, who were from Sicily, and they were there for a year. But I think it's something everyone. I think it's something everyone should do. I think that there is this tendency when all you've experienced is your own country, there's a tendency to assume that so many things that are just actually specific to your country are normal and universal. And I think it's good for everybody. I think everybody should spend a year abroad, or at least like a consistent period, like 6 months abroad, just to experience, what it's like, A, to be a foreigner, and B, to give you that experience of understanding actually not everything in the UK that you think is just a universal thing. For example, for me and Brandon, it is not. There was so many things when I was in Israel that I found out were.
You went to Israel?
Yeah. Go on, Sophie. You can join in as well.
You went to Israel. Oh my God!
There we go.
Stop.
but yeah,
I felt like that was so reluctant from Sophie. She was like, "Oh, I still have to."
But I think spending time abroad really does give you that perspective of going, okay, that my country, is
not the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sure. I think one of the funniest ones, I would say that one of the funniest Britishisms that people outside of the UK don't know until they go to literally any other country outside the UK is tea with milk in it. We're like freaks. We're freaks of nature who have tea with milk in it. And I did that. Yeah, it's only when you go outside of the country and they go, "You want what with your tea? We can just get you a different flavor if you don't like normal tea. You want milk with it?" Yeah.
And then you get sent back.
Yeah, and obviously we put sugar in our tea as well.
First flight back.
Instead of getting different flavors of tea, the British just went, "We'll add milk and sugar, and then anything tastes good."
Yeah, that is typically how it works. You get a dollop of mud, put some milk and sugar with it, easy peasy.
Dollop of mud, nice,
yeah.
Good British soil in my tea.
What was when you went to Australia?
Yes.
What was the thing that surprised you the most? What was your biggest culture shock?
Oh my God. Well, actually, it was kind of the way people just said hello to each other. And I was like, wow, you really know everyone. I was like, no, I don't know that guy. I was like, just, this very sort of openness. Food-wise, I don't know. I guess it was probably not having a big lunch because in Italy we have big meals at every hour. And
every hour.
Constant eating. And then culturally, I think it's mainly philosophy of life, of you're literally surrounded by deadly wildlife, natural disasters, and everyone is she'll be fine, whatever, just go on with life.
Is it obviously this might be stereotypical, but is it actually true that it's more laid back? Everyone's just a little bit more chilled out about it all.
For even in Sydney, which is the more sort of it's kind of like London if it was sunny and happy. And it's still chill.
I think it is in England. We are particularly uptight, and we are particularly because I found the exact same thing. Is there were so many people when I had left for Israel that were making it's so dangerous over there, and we're saying things along that line. And I went there and it was everybody's getting on with their life. It's a completely coming from a country that's as safe as as England is comparatively.
Yeah, no natural disasters, no real dangerous wildlife like poisons or venomous.
Yeah. Like if you manage to get bit by an adder, which, I mean, holy crap, you saw an adder. Like, that's such a rare thing in and of itself. And that's basically, your risks are an adder or a badger.
The badger's got
and the badger's just TB, which is like, at this point,
the badger is
treatable.
It's not even the badger itself. It's just that it's diseased.
Yeah.
And that most badgers have a disease. But it's like, you know, then going somewhere where actually, you know, it is more dangerous on paper, you know.
But like, you got like a teeny tiny spider that you can barely see, which has the most deadly venom in the world. If it just nips you. And it's like, that's so, like a black widow spider is terrifying, genuinely terrifying as a concept. Like snakes, you'll find a snake. You can see a snake.
I almost stepped on one, to be fair. You'd be surprised how well they camouflage in, because there was a type of I can't remember what type. I think it was a viper that they had over there. That was like deadly venomous, and I literally almost stepped on one. Like, I stepped just over it once when I was just walking through a park. Like, wow. I'd come so close to going to hospital, but even then, I have a massive scar on my ankle from where I got bit by a Mediterranean recluse spider, and it literally left me with a big patch of skin on my ankle. Like, it wasn't life-threatening, but still, it was like,
it hurt you enough that now it's scarred.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't think there's even anything in the UK that really could hurt you enough that it's scarred, other than if you got a scratch from something.
I don't know. Have you seen the size of a kite? Like, and for Sophie, again, that's the type of bird. I feel like immediately.
Brandon has a phobia of kites.
I don't have a phobia. It's just that you don't realize how big some birds are until
I wasn't talking about the bird.
Face.
I was just talking about like a paper kite.
Oh yeah. I fucking fuck those things. No, I've actually been kite surfing actually. So, you know, cool. Because in the UK we get winds that are like fucking ridiculous at the coast, and our seas are always so choppy that you can just like get on a board with a massive kite and it will just take you. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, basically, like, you don't realize how big and like they've got talons for days and they're predators. Like, there's some shit in the UK that could definitely kill you. Well, we have like wild like foxes up north and stuff as well. They're pretty fucking savage if you see them. Like, obviously, I'm not saying we've got bears. Also, you know, if you think back,
we got humans.
Yeah. Our most deadly threat is fucking humanity. But like, obviously, like if you go back like 100,000 years, we had dire wolves up north. Like, we had massive alpha predators, and we just killed them all. We were just like, no, go away.
I don't like it.
Who's the predator now?
Yeah, basically. But yeah, so I don't know. The UK can be just watch out.
Yeah, but like, I think comparatively to a lot of other places, like, even those things are like, they're rare.
Well, we've got bogs. They're pretty fucking dangerous. Like, people don't realize. No, and like, I know you're laughing, but people don't. They're like, oh, it's just a little bit of water, and then you step on like a bit of you think is land, and then suddenly you're waist deep in muddy water that is pulling you under, and you're like, oh, I've made a mistake. This is an error.
Yeah. Well, because there's stuff like that, but again, it's like, you know, it's not like a bog will not invade your home, whereas a black widow will.
Yeah.
You won't. Oh crap! The bog's in the house again. Kids, check your shoes for bogs. Make sure there's no bogs inside your shoes. Because with stuff like that, you know, I had to check my shoes for spiders. You know, I'm sure Sophie. Is that a thing they did in Australia as well? Like, you know, check your shoes for spiders.
Oh, every time, especially when out camping. I was like, before like putting my feet into my shoes, I was just like shaking my or poking with a stick like inside of the shoe to like make sure I killed any unwanted visitor. But yeah, I got lucky. Apart of the fact that I had so many huntsman spiders in my room, which are they're not like, if they bit you probably they would hurt, but they're not like, they're just big as like maybe a human hand.
Fuck that, man. That's just so big. Fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah. And the worst thing is that they hide. How do you call, you know, when you get inside the car that you have a mirror in the front seats that you like pull up and down? You sort of like.
Do you mean the rear view mirror?
No, sorry. It's like a sun.
You mean the
protection.
sun? Yeah, like the shade, the sunshades, the ones that you flip forwards and back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they have mirrors and stuff. Yeah, they hide in there. Okay, so
really.
Yeah. So what? Luckily, because I knew this, I was checking religiously the sunshades every time, because I was like, I do not want to be on the road and then be like, oh, the sun is a bit annoying, and then I pull down the sunshade and like a fucking spider is on my face. Like
Fuck me.
So yeah, like it kind of gets you a bit paranoid once you know these things, but otherwise, you just go on with your life.
Imagine the fact that like 100 years ago, right? 200 years ago even, we were like, we found this fucking dirt rock at the southern hemisphere. It's got some indigenous people on it, but we've killed them all with guns. But also, there has all the deadliest shit you've ever seen. Like, all of our men died. What should we do with it? Why don't we just send people we don't like there? Bang it.
Yeah.
The people we don't like then went. Yeah, the people we don't like then went, sick. I'm gonna make a town and become one of the coolest, most laid back people in the planet.
Yeah. Well, like, we're going to send our prisoners to die, and then they make an entire country that's pretty chill.
Because they just don't die.
I mean, the coolest person to come out of there is probably Ned Kelly. Like, do you know the story? Like, the coolest thing. Do you know Ned Kelly?
No, not a clue.
No.
Oh my God. No. He was a bush ranger, which I think he's kind of like an outlaw, but not really sort of like... I don't know exactly the entire story, but basically, yeah, the police didn't like him. And the coolest thing is that he went around with some scrap metal. It was literally just like armored with like random sheets of metal. And no one could kill him because he was like Iron Man, basically. And it's for real. And he was kind of like the Robin Hood of Australia and stuff like that. And Heath Ledger did a film. He was in a film as well as Ned Kelly. But basically, at some point the police got the best of him, and like he got shot in the knee, he got shot like everywhere, and he just kept going for like an entire day or days. I don't remember anymore, but eventually he died of his wounds. But it's like, just, can you imagine? Like, it's just the coolest visual of this guy dressed in. Go and have a look.
Basically full plate armor.
Exactly. But it's all like Mad Maxy kind of style. Like, it's so fucking cool.
Wow. Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, Australians are tough people.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, like you say, like, to live in around like death and danger pretty much just by putting your foot in a shoe. That's it breeds a sort of sense of like, fucking don't worry about it. Might be dead tomorrow. Anyway, let's just carry on. Let's just do what we got to do.
I think also that's a perspective we have from the UK, because we're not used to that level of danger. Because like, I can tell you from, being in Israel, where, technically any day missiles could have come over the horizon and blown up a whole bunch of buildings. That actually, I think when you're around it, maybe if you're not exposed to it, it feels like, but like, when you're just kind of around it, it just becomes a lot more normal.
Well, yeah, that's the comment on human adaptability, isn't it? Like, your brain reorganizes itself to be like, this is the new normal. Get used to it, and we're fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. Worry about it when it happens.
You deal with it, and it's fine. And actually, comparatively, I don't actually think black widows kill that many people per year, considering how many people there are in Australia.
I'm about to find out how many.
The risk, whilst the risk of death by animal is higher, I think it's less so that the risk is abnormally high. It's more that we're also in the UK very much not used to risk in that sense. Like, a looming constant risk is not something I think we're very used to.
You don't even have earthquakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so about 2,500 people per year are bitten, but most of the time they're something called dry bites, which means they haven't actually pumped in their venom. And even then, they've also got an antidote to the venom. So not many deaths, I don't think, at all.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Australia, yeah?
Yeah.
Or England?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, there's no black widow spiders in England.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean,
we got false widows, not black widows.
This is the lack of tectonic activity is also why England is the best place. That's why everyone keeps sending their nuclear waste to us, because it's like we can put it underground and it will just half-life in peace without being disturbed. Yeah.
Yes. Store it.
Anyway.
Store it over here.
Anyway.
That's what happened. After all the financial banks left London.
Yeah, we're like, just give us your shit.
That's what Canary Wharf is now. That's just where you store it.
Canary Wharf,
right
like
next to
completely
London City
artificial, man-made area of London.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
well, they had to fill all the banks with something.
It's all just fucking nuclear waste. Anyway, Sophie and Ethan, have you enjoyed our conversation about... Wait, what was it even about? Fucking...
annoying
touristing souvenirs. Yeah. Have you enjoyed our conversation about it?
Loved it. Yeah. Enjoyed it. Reveled in it.
Wow, reveled in it. That's the best comment we've ever got about a conversation with us, Ethan.
I feel...
You feel better?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about myself.
Good. Okay.
I don't know, reveled almost seems to have like sensual connotations as well.
Okay.
Just because, again, see, this is why we don't have women on the podcast, Ethan. It's your fault. It's because you said everything weird. Anyway,
I can't help it, Brandon.
If you want to send us,
I turn it weird with you as well. You just don't.
I'm just used to it. I'm just used to it. If you want to send us your own prompts, do it at the Instagram, which is going_on_tangent. Or if you are from the past, you can send it to at Tangent Podcast Ideas, which is the fucking email, which is at gmail.com. But until next time, I have been Spider Venom.
I have been the tectonic plates.
I have been the Italian stallion.
Thank you very much for joining us, Sophie.
Thank you very much, Sophie.
Thank you.
We'll see you all next time. Bye.
And now here's the after credits scene.
Wow. Exciting.
Sophie Casali will return in season 2 of Tangent.
Sophie Casali to return next year.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. Coming
Stop
soon.
listening. Stop listening to Tangent. No, keep
After
listening
this,
to Tangent.
yes.
Everybody, keep listening to Tangent. Just stop listening to this episode.
You can stop now because like Sophie's never coming back. That was just that was a lie.
Yeah. We're putting her in a hole and it's being concreted over.
Like nuclear waste. I see what you did there.
I wasn't trying to do that, but
anyway.
All right.
Everyone shut
Get
up.
out of here.
Go away.